Blackkklansman, the new film directed by Spike Lee and starring John David Washinton and Adam Driver. Now, Blackkklansman tells the true story, believe it or not, of Ron Stallworth, who is the first black police detective in the state of Colorado. And this character is played by John David Washinton. And his first job is to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan. That's right. Now, how he goes about doing that is he makes a telephone call to the Klan requesting to join. And then he hires his white police partner, Flip Zimmerman, played by Adam Driver, to infiltrate this organization, to get as much intel as he can, and then to try and thwart whatever plans that they've got. And that, in a nutshell, is Blackkklansman. Spike Lee is a visionary. I've been a fan of his for many, many years, and his films are not only both entertaining and they make you think. You know, from his powerful movie Do the Right Thing to Jungle Fever to Malcolm X, this man has proven himself to be a pioneer in whatever genre he tackles in, and this film is a return to form for him. This is easily his best film to date, and I loved every moment of this film. As difficult as it is to watch at times, and as harrowing as it can be at times, it is still a necessity, because this film is a mirror. You know, it deals with what happened in the 70s, but when you watch it, it's easily applicable to today's times, and there are many references to what's happening in today's times. What I like: performances. John David Washinton is the son of actor legend Denzel Washington, and he was wonderful in this film. If you close your eyes, he sounds exactly like his father, from when he's talking to when he's raising his voice, even to his mannerisms. And for me, I was worried in terms of, okay, will he be accused of doing an impersonation of his father or trying to mimic his father in some way, shape, or form? Forget it. And I cannot wait to see what he does next. Also, Adam Driver. Adam Driver, who's in Star Wars, was also in this film, and he was a standout star for me in this film. And I think that if it goes for nominations for Best Supporting Actor Oscars, if that ever comes to that, I would definitely like to see Adam Driver nominated. The role that he plays, Flip, he is the white character who goes in undercover to infiltrate the KKK. And for me, this character was a conflict, because you've got a character infiltrating the Ku Klux Klan who also happens to be Jewish, so he's suppressing his Jewish ancestry, and he's got to take in all this rhetoric, you know, racist rhetoric about blacks, about Jews, and about any other ethnic group, and he's got to deal with it. And Adam Driver's performance in playing this conflicted character, I thought, was superb. He was right in this role, he was great in this role, and I felt that the chemistry between John David Washinton and Adam Driver was on point. The banter between the two of them, how they go back and forth, I thought was really, really good. In fact, all of the characters in this film and the actors in this film were really, really good. I can't think of a weak link in this film. And that's a testament to Spike Lee. You know, when you're on a Spike Lee film, you give your best. And that's what I like most about this film. And what you need to remember is that most of Spike Lee's films are not only artworks, but they're also social commentary pieces. And there are some references to Donald Trump in this film. Subtle, but you get the point. There's one scene in particular where they're talking about David Duke, who's a member of the Ku Klux Klan, and they said some line about, oh, how you can never have a racist person occupy the White House. Well, you know what? They do today. And as harrowing as this film is, it is also quite surprisingly funny. I was surprised how much humor was in this film, and that is a testament to Lee's work as well in terms of combining dark with light. But there are also some harrowing scenes in this film. This film was done in the 70s, and there is a lot of strong racial language in this film about every ethnic group, from blacks to Jews to, you know, nobody is off point. And there were some scenes that really I found to be heart-wrenching. There's one scene in particular where Adam Driver's character has infiltrated the KKK. They're on a shooting ranch and they are firing bullets. And when John David Washington's character comes up to see what's happened, it turns out they were actually shooting at statues and portraits of black people. And that really got to me. And I thought, well, you know what? Some police states actually do that as well as target practice. And one scene in particular where they had Harry Belafonte, who made a cameo appearance in this film. He was talking about, you know, a depiction of how a black person was tried, convicted, and murdered all within a space of 4 minutes. And the way that Lee films this scene between Harry Belafonte talking about that scene to Adam Driver being initiated in the KKK and going back and forth. I thought it was just beautifully filmed. Also, what I loved most was the score. A frequent collaborator of Spike Lee's is Terrence Blanchard, and this has to be his best cinematic score to date. His utilization of guitars, because Terrence Blanchard usually does orchestra work with live vocals. Not this one. He does guitars, he does instruments, and it just makes for a really great effect in terms of urgency, in terms of warmth, in terms of comedy, and it is all used to great effect. And also the soundtrack as well. There's a lot of 70s music in this film, which I found to be very, very good, and it just brings you back to that time. But this film, it's Spike Lee's magnum opus. I think this is his best work to date. For a person who's made such cultural impact and such films that stand as landmark films like Do the Right Thing, which is nearly 30 years old, and if you watch that film then, it can still be as relevant then as it is now. This film is up there because this film is just visually beautiful. It's a true story, so it keeps you engaged from the get-go, and it is just something that pulls no punches. And every target that this film fires a bullet at, it hits. In terms of discrimination, in terms of injustice, in terms of race relations, in terms of, shots at Donald Trump, it hits the target. Blackkklansman, loved every minute of it. I will give this film a very strong 9 out of 10. This is one that I highly recommend that you watch. And whenever I see these types of films, I'm always reluctant, I can only watch them once and don't have them in my DVD collection. But in this case, Blackkklansman, yes, this is one that you should have in your DVD collection, and this is one that will be in mine. So, that's my review of Blackkklansman. Subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, leave your quote with regards to what's your favourite Spike Lee film, and I shall see you on the next film review. Take care.